So tyres, when they go right in Formula 1, no one talks about them. When they go wrong, everybody is talking about them. Those 4 black circular objects are so important to every single Formula 1 car, and I've spoken a lot about tyres in Formula 1. I've even interviewed the head of Pirelli's motorsport course, with Pirelli being the sole tyre supplier to Formula 1 ever since 2011, and they've signed on for a good number of seasons to come as well. I've interviewed the head of their motorsport division, Mario Asola, on a number of occasions. Really nice guy, and I've spoken about how Formula 1 teams use their tyres, how Pirelli supplies them and everything, but I just want to go over them in a little more detail really when it comes to that. Just a beginner's guide thing here on the F1Chronicle.com, guys. So here's a very basic kind of look at tyres in Formula 1. Tyres play a big part in F1 races. Pirelli is the officially recognised tyre supplier for Formula 1. Unlike street car tyres, F1 tyres are built to last only between 60 to 120 kilometers. Roughly in terms of a Grand Prix, because that is just over 305 kilometers in total, you're talking somewhere between 1/5 and around 1/3 of the race as a whole. Because one set of tyres will not last the distance of any F1 race, drivers have to make pit stops to replace tyres so that they complete the races. Now, of course, in F1, you don't have to do a pit stop. There are some circumstances where you don't have to do that, and it pretty much depends on the weather. If it's wet, you don't have to use 2 dry compounds of tyre. However, if it's dry, like the vast majority of Formula 1 races are, you have to use at least 2, which means you need to do at least 1 pit stop during the race. In the modern era of Formula 1 in 2024, most races were 1 stops. There were some that were 2, and the very occasional one with 3 stops, but that's generally what happens, just a couple pit stops or so, not like the early Pirelli days where you would see some people doing 4 and 5 stops. It was a bit crazy, to be honest, back then. F1 car tyres are rated anywhere from C1 to C5, with C1 being the hardest tyre and C5 being the softest. Now, during a race weekend, you will always see for the dry tyres that there are hard, medium and soft compound, the white, yellow and red band Pirellis respectively. Now, which C compound these are depends on the circuit. So for Monaco, for example, where the speeds are a lot lower and therefore the tyre wear is a lot lower too, they will use the 3 softest compounds, the 3, the 4 and the 5. Whereas a track with a lot higher tyre wear, I'm not sure, maybe Silverstone or somewhere like that where there's a lot more high speed corners, they will use the hardest ones potentially, which is C1, 2 and 3. Now, Pirelli of course determines which ones to use by using previous races, track data, weather conditions, all that sort of stuff all plays into it. And Pirelli, like I said, they've been in Formula 1 now for 14 complete seasons as the sole tyre supplier, so they have a lot of data to be able to call upon when it comes to making these decisions. Now, until the conclusion of the 2021 season, Formula 1 uses 13-inch tyres. However, in 2022, they moved to 18-inch tyres as part of a raft of new technical regulations designed to make the racing more even. And on top of that as well, they also decided to do this to make it more relevant. I think the last car that had a 13-inch tyre in production was something like a Mini Cooper or a Fiat 500. An 18-inch tyre is much more applicable to modern road cars and therefore modern cars in general, so that's why they did it. At first it looked a bit odd, but now it looks very strange looking back at old Formula 1 cars with these dinky little tyres on them. But that's a very brief overview of what tyres are in Formula 1. Like I said, I've spoken to Mario Asola many moons ago. I'll probably speak to him again soon if I can get an interview with him. Mario, if you're watching, ciao. Good to catch up sometimes, my friend. And yeah, for much more beginner's guide information on Formula 1, we've got plenty of videos already out on the subject, and of course a full article over on the F1Chronicle.com if you want to go check that out as well. The link will be in the description on YouTube. On MSN though, on Microsoft, just go and search up the website. We can't put links on there, unfortunately. Just the way it is. Have a word with Bill Gates if you don't like that one. But yeah, we'll see you soon for some more Formula 1 content here on the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well, and we'll see you soon, guys. Have a good one.